Barcelona defeat Deportivo Alavés 3-1 at the Spotify Camp Nou in match week 14 of La Liga. And with that win, guys, culés, do not scratch your eyes, but with that win against Alavés today, Barcelona are sitting in first place in La Liga. Sitting in first place. 2 whole points ahead of Real Madrid. 2 points ahead of Real Madrid. Now, of course, we can't get too excited because Madrid still have a game in hand. And they'll play that game tomorrow against Girona away from home. And Girona are not a good team. I wish Girona were still a good team, but they're not. They had a massive fall off. They're sitting in the relegation spot. So I am not expecting Madrid to drop points tomorrow against Girona, but if they do, which could happen, if they do, which again could happen, because Madrid, as we've seen this season, they're not unbeatable, they're not perfect. So if Michel drops a masterclass and he manages to get a draw or a win against Real Madrid, Barca will be in first place, tied on games with Madrid. And if Madrid lose, if they lose, it's a big if, I know, but if they lose, if a miracle happens and Madrid loses against Girona, Barca will be in first place with 2 points, being 2 points out. Why did I say that so fucking stupid? Barcelona, if Madrid lose tomorrow, will be 2 points ahead of Real Madrid in the table, even on games played. That's a better way to say it. I don't know what I was saying there. They'll be ahead by 2 points. And that's with all the injuries, with all the inconsistent play, losing the El Clasico. We could be sitting here tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, Eastern time, Barca being in first place if Girona beat Madrid. Which, I don't know why you guys, that makes me really, really happy because like I said already, the injuries, losing the El Clasico, the inconsistent play. If you would have told me, that Barca were going to be this close to Madrid, I would have said, bro, you're crazy because there's no way. We're just not that good this year. But we have a chance to win trophies this year, man. I'm seeing a lot of people say that Barca have no chance to win a trophy. I reject that idea entirely. I think Barca will win a trophy this year. I think they'll win multiple trophies. I believe that. I really do. Now, I don't know which trophies they'll be, but I think Barca will win multiple trophies. And I think that in La Liga, you're positioning yourself to, you're not letting Madrid, just get this large lead. After losing the El Clasico, a lot of us maybe expect Madrid to just pull away, but no, it's not happening. Barca are just right behind Real Madrid. Madrid win, which again is the most likely outcome. If they win against Girona tomorrow, Barca will only be 1 point behind them. So really, really happy about that win. And Barca couldn't afford to lose this game because the game on Tuesday is against Atletico Madrid. And that's always a tough game. So the fact that they got 3 points today, it was not the perfect performance. Far from it. We'll talk about it, of course. It wasn't the best game we've seen under Hansi Flick. It was close, but they got the win at the Camp Nou. So I'm really, really happy about that. Now let's talk about the lineup because this lineup kind of, it made me really excited going into this game. It made me really excited. I was kind of hesitant going into this game because the loss against Chelsea on Tuesday was a very emotional loss for everybody involved with Barcelona. The players, the coaching staff, the fans. Seeing Araujo get that red card, seeing Barca get embarrassed against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. It was just it kind of lingered the whole week for me. I don't know about you guys, but it's been lingering the whole week. I still have that loss in the back of my head. So I was worried about how the team was going to perform today coming into this game after the way they performed on Tuesday. And I think overall they actually played fairly well. Like I said already, it wasn't a perfect performance, but I think they played fairly well. Obviously, and the lineup was way different than the one against Chelsea because in this lineup, the back five, it was all Spanish. It was an all Spanish back five. It was Joan Garcia as the goalkeeper, Eddie Garcia right back, Cuarcia as the right center back, Gerard Martinez as the left center back, and then Balde as the left back. Of course, no Araujo because, the thing that happened against Chelsea, he's not on the squad. He has a stomach virus apparently, so he's not on the squad. And then also Christensen, is he fit? Is he not? Is he fully fit to play 90 minutes? I really don't know what's up with Christensen. I forget he's part of the squad sometimes. I really forget that Christensen's part of this team. So, he didn't start today with Cuarcia, like I said, Gerard Martinez, the two center backs, and then Balde and Eddie Garcia as the right backs, as the full back, sorry. Obviously, no Kunde today. And in the midfield, it was Dani Olmo, because Firmino obviously got injured, and Frankie de Jong was dealing with a family issue, so he couldn't play the game today. So it was Dani Olmo as the number 10, and then the two pivots behind them were Bernal and Casado. We haven't seen that pivot partnership since last season, the beginning of the season last season at the Mestalla or at Vallecas when they played Rayo Vallecano. We haven't seen that because Bernal was hurt and now he came back and he hasn't been playing that much. So today we saw that and I was really, really excited to see that. And then also what I was most excited to see in the starting 11 was the front three because we saw Raphinha, we saw Lewandowski, and we saw Lamine Yamal. And we haven't seen that front three, it seems like in forever, bro. It seems like we haven't seen that front three together in so long. So I was so happy to see that. I was so happy to see. I was so excited to see how they would play. And I heard in my broadcast, ESPN here in Spanish, they were saying that it's the first time in 6 months that front four has been starting together. That's the first time in 6 months, half a year, that front four started together. The front four of Olmo, Lewandowski, Raphinha, and Lamine Yamal. A front four that at large times last season dominated Europe. We haven't seen it at all in a long time because Olmo's always dealing with something and Lewandowski's dealing with something and Raphinha missed some time. So we got to see it today. And I won't lie, guys, the first minute, it was awful. It was the worst shit ever. I mean, that goal that we conceded is so fucking annoying. I mean, it just pissed me off because I was like, oh, there's no way. The morale's in the gutter. I was being so pessimistic, bro, when that goal went in. I was like, oh, it's over. The morale's in the gutter. We're going to lose the game. It just wasn't the best way to start the game, I'll be honest. Like, less than a minute into the game, 45 seconds, Alavés find a way to get a goal. It was a corner that came in. Casal does a good job initially to clear that ball, but as he clears it, he doesn't clear it far enough, so it goes to the back post, and he falls. So he kind of does like a chilena, so like he falls to the ground, and then Bernal and the Alavés player are fighting they're like kind of hand fighting, they're grabbing each other's shirts, they're just kind of tussling with each other at the back post, and the Alavés player gets his foot up, he finds a way to get that ball in and around the 6-yard box, and then it ends up being a goal, obviously, because the Alavés players are to push it into the back of the net, and Casal keeps him on because Casal hadn't gotten up yet, so Casal was still kind of on the ground, and from his sitting down, he plays him onside, so wasn't really happy to see that, but I'm glad that Barca responded the way they did, because they responded instantly. And then the goal comes from Lamine Yamal. It was a great play down the left-hand side between Balde and Raphinha. Balde gets the ball. He feeds it to Raphinha behind. Raphinha with a great pass into the middle of the box. The ball just rolls all the way to Lamine Yamal. Nobody, like, there's no Barca player there. There's no Alavés player there. It's just like a direct path to Lamine Yamal that ball takes. And Lamine with a beautiful finish with his left foot into the roof of the net. It was a great finish from Lamine Yamal. At that point, it was 1-1. And, you know, that was like at the 8th minute. So it only took Barca like 7 minutes to get back into the game. And then, you know, after that goal, I thought we actually looked a lot better. We were actually starting to kind of feel more comfortable in the game because Alavés, bro, I'll be honest with you guys, man. That first half was the most eventful half, of course, because the second half was kind of a snooze fest. But Alavés in that first half, I'll say this, I think Barca looked more comfortable after the first goal. But Alavés were finding, like, they were really threatening every time they had the ball. Us out of possession, we were not good. We were not good at all. And Alavés had a chance that Joan Garcia makes a ridiculous save on. Literally a ridiculous save. It's a great play from Alavés. It's a ball behind. They cross into the middle of the box. It's a shot. And Joan Garcia, man, he kind of like, I don't even know what but he kind of jumps up without using, it's the weirdest save I've ever seen in my life. Like, he thinks that one player is going to shoot it, so he kind of hops up, and then that player doesn't shoot it. It's the next player, so he kind of has to just like regroup and jump up again and get his hand on it. It was insane. I mean, just an athletic freak. That was such an athletic play and such an insane save from Joan Garcia. One of the best saves I've seen this season from a keeper. I'm not even joking. That save was ridiculous. It was a great save from Joan Garcia. So from that save, it goes down the other end. So not directly, but from that save, you know, they almost scored it and they don't score, and then Barca score right after. Like a minute after that chance, Barca scored. It's a great ball from Gerard Martin, a fantastic ball from Gerard Martin today at left center back to Raphinha behind, and Raphinha with the wonderful cutback to Dani Olmo in the box, and Dani Olmo with a great finish. And at that point, it was 2-1. And I thought overall, we played a good first half. Not a perfect first half, but I thought we responded well after Alavés found a way to score that early goal in like the first minute. It's hard, man, because when you're playing a team like Alavés, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for an early goal because they're already kind of going to sit back. But with an early goal, they can sit back even more and just play that terrible brand of football that we see these Spanish teams play. So when they got that goal, I was like, okay, it's going to be a long night. But Barca just kind of got back into the game quick. They got that goal from Lamine Yamal, then they got that goal from Olmo, and that's all thanks to Raphinha, man. And the impact he brings to this team, and his relentlessness and his tenacity, and just the way that he presses and the way that he's always like he's so vocal on the pitch. That's what we miss. Like, Raphinha's play is fantastic. He's one of the best in the world. Okay, he's one of the best in the world. But his attitude and his leadership and his presence on the pitch, it just takes him to another level. And that's something that we've been missing with this team because we didn't have that leader for a long time when Raphinha was out. And he is the leader of this team. As long as he's healthy, he should be the captain. He should be the captain 100%. I think Raphinha had a great first half. And I think overall, you know, there was also that one chance that Lamine missed when Lewa passed him a great pass. Like, Lamine should have shot it first time, and he tries to go around the keeper, and then he shoots it wide. So we had chances in the first half. Alavés did as well, by the way. They had a couple chances too. Like I said, out of position, they were kind of cooking us at times because we're not looking so good. But I think overall in that first half, I think our attack looked really fluid. We looked good. But I did still have some, you know, I was still kind of skeptical about the back line and the way that they played. I wasn't really comfortable with our midfield play as a whole. I didn't think our two pivots looked great. Now would probably be a good time to talk about Bernal and also Eric Garcia because both of them went out at halftime because they only played 45 minutes. I think Bernal looked decent in the 45 that he played, but it wasn't the Bernal that I saw last year, and that's normal because Bernal is a guy who's barely ever plays. I mean, he doesn't get consistent minutes. So you throw him into the starting lineup, I can't be expecting a Rodri region or Busquets region performance because that'd be unrealistic of me. You can practice all you want. You gotta get match fit. You gotta get used to live bullets and play against an opposition that's trying to, it's different in practice than it is in a real game. So I'm not going to be too critical of Bernal. I think overall he did some good things, but it was mostly bad. I wasn't really impressed with Bernal. And again, I said I wasn't going to be too critical, and then I say he was mostly bad. I mean, that's not me being critical. It's just me analyzing the game. I think overall he had some bad challenges that got him a yellow card. His passing was kind of sloppy. He just looked kind of slow. So I wasn't really too impressed with the way Bernal played. But again, he's coming back from injury. We got to give him time. We got to be patient with him because he's still young as well. And also Eddie Garcia got like elbowed in the face, so he took his mask off. He got elbowed by Denis Suarez, so I think that's why Flick took him off, or maybe he wasn't happy with his play. But I think Eddie overall didn't look too bad. And the second half came around, and honestly, man, it was kind of a boring second half overall up until that Dani Olmo goal. Nothing really happened of substance. I mean, there was that one chance that Kunde kind of put on a play for Olmo, and Olmo missed. But then, you know, apart from that, there wasn't really. I mean, Alavés had a chance as well where they could have scored. But apart from that, man, it was nothing until Olmo got the goal at the end to make it 3-1 and kind of seal the win. He passes it to Lamine Jamal. Lamine Jamal passes it back to Dani Olmo, and then Olmo with the finish. Olmo gets 2 goals today, which is, you know, great for him. Really happy to see that. Hopefully that kind of helps him get his confidence back. But yeah, man, that was pretty much it. I mean, I was happy with the way Barca played in the second half because they seemed to have a lot more control of the game, even though it was 2-1. The whole second half, basically, because Olmo got the goal in the 93rd minute. Even though it was 2-1 for the whole second half, I never really thought Alavés were going to score. Like, we weren't really threatening going forward, but they weren't really threatening every time we didn't have the ball. So, overall, I thought it was a decent performance today. Glad that we got the win. If we're talking about some of the players individually, Joan Garcia, I thought he was fantastic, man. That save that he made, and just overall, I thought his play was great. Coming out of his goal when he needed to, claiming crosses. Overall, I thought Joan Garcia played a great game. Eddie Garcia, like I said, I thought he was good when he played. Kunde came in and looked fairly good. He had that, like I said, that pass to Olmo that Olmo should have finished. He should have an assist. Doesn't get an assist, but I think Kunde actually looked good today compared to what he did on Tuesday at Stamford Bridge, which was awful from him. Kuwarsi at center back. People think I hate on Kuwarsi, which is people just make shit up in the comment section of these videos, bro. You have a Kuwarsi agenda, you have a this agenda. It's fine. I'm not gonna please everybody, so I'm not even gonna try. But anyway, Kuwarsi, I actually thought he played fairly well today. I didn't think it was his best game. I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't been too impressed with Kuwarsi this year, but I really haven't been impressed with any Barca center back. I haven't been impressed with any center back that Barca put out there this year. I have not been impressed. So I think Kuwarsi had a good game, but I didn't think it was a vintage Kuwarsi game, and he's back. I think he's been sort of inconsistent this year, but I thought he was better than he was against Chelsea, I'll tell you that. Gerard Martin, a left center back, I think that's his natural position. He should be playing left center back. He has the physical attributes for it. He's tall. He's not too stocky, but still, he could be a good left center back. And he's a lefty. So, you know, Inigo was a lefty, and Gerard Martin is a lefty. It's good to have a left-footed player at left center back because it just makes passing out of the back so much easier, and it just gives you so many more options when you're trying to pass the ball from the back. So he had that ball to Raphinha. Like I said, he made a couple last-ditch tackles today. I thought Martin actually looked really good. And Balde was once again our best player in the back line, the same way he was against Chelsea. He's so good, man. And that left-hand side looks so good with him and Raphinha in the first half. It looks so good. It looked like the left-hand side we saw at large parts last season. And the 2 pivots, Casalo, I didn't think today was good. I honestly did not think he was that good today. Wasn't too impressed with him, to be completely honest with you guys. I mean, it was just, I don't know, man. It's just like, I think Casalo's level has kind of declined a lot since last season compared to what we saw last year. And today I wasn't too impressed with his performance, to be honest with you guys. I thought out of possession he was kind of sloppy. In possession wasn't really good. Bernal already spoke about him. And then when Flick took off Bernal and Eric and he brought in Rashford, and also he brought on Kunde. So the setup kind of changed. But talking about Rashford, obviously, who came into the game also, I didn't like what I saw from Rashford. I didn't like what I saw. I think he was, you know, trying to do stuff, but there was too many times where he just fell down. He just lost the ball, and he acted like he got fouled when it wasn't. I mean, some of those were fouls, but a lot of those weren't fouls. I think he had a couple good moments. There was a chance, man, where Dani Olmo should have passed him the ball. He could have had a goal if Dani Olmo in a counter-attack didn't fuck up. But anyway, he fucks up, doesn't pass to him. But he was making good runs at times. But overall, I didn't think he was too impactful. And, you know, it sucks to see because he was kind of starting to find his groove before the international break, and then the international break came around, and then he got the flu, so he hasn't been starting. He's been coming off the bench, but I hope he can get back to that version because he was really productive for us. But I didn't think Rashford was great today. Dani Olmo had 2 goals. I think he played a lot better than he has in the past. I still kind of get frustrated with him at times because, like I said, I got frustrated with that counter attack. You have Rashford right there, pass it to him, but he didn't pass it to him. And there's still some things that Dani Olmo does that piss me off. But I think today, getting 2 goals, finishing those chances is huge. Lewandowski, overall, I think his hold-up play, especially in the first half, was great. In the second half, he kind of disappeared before he got taken off in around the 60th minute. But I think his hold-up play was great. But I do think that Barca sometimes need a more energetic and just more a different type of striker, not Ferran, but just a different, younger type of striker up top, because I feel like Lewandowski sometimes his legs just kind of wear out really quickly in a game because he's older. So again, I like this hold-up play. He created a couple chances. He had the assist, obviously, in that first half. I think it was, I said it was a Raphinha assist, but it wasn't. It was actually a Lewa assist, because Lewa, I think, kind of pokes it to Lamine Yamal. So anyway, maybe I misspoke or I apologize. But anyway, I think Lewa overall wasn't bad, wasn't too great. And then Lamine Yamal on the right-hand side, I think Lamine Yamal looked great. He had that play in that first half where, the ball goes to the corner flag and he megs the player, and then he gets into the box, and it should have been given as a pen. It wasn't given as a pen, but anyway, he had the goal. He had an assist on Dani Olmo. Overall, I was really happy with the way Lamine Yamal played. And yeah, man, I don't really have much else to say about this game. I thought overall we had a decent game. I think, like I said, starting off 1-0 down and then coming back and being able to get that win 3-1 ends up being a comfortable scoreline at the end, even though the game wasn't really that comfortable. Like I said, at 2-1, I never was scared that they were going to score, but still, 2-1 is not a scoreline that you want to have in a game, because at any second they could just tie and then maybe come back on you and make it 3-2. So again, Alavés are not a bad team. They played hard, and the fact that we at home, we took care of business. I got the 3 points. I'm really, really happy. But you guys have your thoughts in the comment section down below about this game, what you guys thought. And yeah, I love every single one of you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.